Welcome to the JBJ Management Podcast. I'm Willis Johnson, and you are?
I'm Samantha Gordon.
And I'm Camron Powell.
All right, it's showtime, sir.
Showtime. I guess we got a lot to talk about this week. If you want to start on sports, you know where I'm going with this.
No, where?
Kansas City won.
Woo!
On, what was that, Sunday?
Woo!
They've been the talk of the town as far as sports have been concerned all year because of the Taylor Swift situation.
And because they're good.
And because they're good. Well, they also went, last year. And
Super Bowl champs
a couple
last
years
year.
ago.
No,
So
they've been
in 2020.
5 of the last 6 years.
four of the past
Taylor
5 years.
Swift.
They're good. Exactly.
And
Okay.
another kind of interesting thing I saw this morning about them going is 2020 was a leap year, an election between Trump and Biden, and the Chiefs went to the Super Bowl. 2024 is a leap year. The Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl, and Trump and Biden are going to be
And the
battling.
49ers. The
Against
same
the 49ers.
team. Same
it's the
team.
same two teams.
There's only one thing from
okay.
2020
It's just-
that I
it was
don't need
something
to
I saw
happen
earlier.
again. And other than that, we're good. There's only one thing from 2020 that doesn't
I'm
need to
more
happen
concerned
again.
about Trump Biden than I am about the Chiefs and the 49ers.
I'm
I
more
really don't-
concerned about a
any
global
of it.
pandemic that happened in
I'm in my
2020
world here.
that I don't want to happen again. So
What do you feel about that situation, though? I mean,
You mean Trump Biden?
no, I really don't care about that.
Well, but you should. But you should. Because he may take the game away. If he has the
Well.
ability, he can say, we're not playing football today. That's where I see Trump going. What I say goes.
Well,
I'm concerned about that. But, okay, back to the game.
the viewership is super high now because of Taylor Swift. They're using her as like a marketing tool. How do you feel about it? Some people are very upset. Why you keep showing her? Some people are like, oh, it got young girls into the game. It's showing more. I think women's jersey sales are up like 53% or something like that. Don't quote me on that number. But it's doing a lot for them and a lot of viewership and engagement. How do you feel about it?
The NFL, period.
Mm-hmm.
Look at statistics. The top 20 shows according to Arbitron, whether Taylor Swift showed up or not, the top 20 shows are NFL football games. She's only going to a game where the Chiefs are playing.
Mm-hmm.
The NFL is up, period, with or without Taylor Swift.
That's a Sam. How you feel about it, Sam?
That's how I'm feeling about it.
I'm just happy she's there and she's supporting her man and he's supporting her. I love it. I think it's great. I think she's happy. He's happy. I mean, that embrace
Were you
after
gonna
the
watch
game.
the game?
Yes, I'm a Chiefs fan. I've been a Chiefs fan prior to Taylor Swift be there. So yes.
Okay.
Yes.
See, that's my point.
No, I've been a
you
Chiefs
were gonna
fan.
watch with or without her.
I was
Sam
going to
went
watch
to
with or
school Pat
without
Mahomes
her.
around the same time.
But I absolutely love her and I love Travis Kelce and I think they're great together and I think they're super
I
happy.
think he's a wild man.
I think he's happy with her.
Well, not all football players are wild men.
Well, that's pretty sexy. Speaking of,
No, they're not. That's not
Coming
true.
from you. Hold on, John. You've been saying stuff about
you were
Taylor
talking
all
about
week.
the election year thing and your fears and all that kind of stuff. How do you feel about what's going on at the border of southern Texas between the federal government, the Texas government, plus other supporting states?
It's Donald Trump. It's Donald Trump. That Abbott and that group are trying to keep Trump happy. That's my concern, is that our democracy is going to be obliterated. It's going to be wiped out. He's already talking about, how can I have a third term?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm telling you, he and Putin.
I heard Russia offered aid to Texas for this situation, but that could have just been a highlight somewhere. And
I didn't hear
speaking
that.
of control, California just proposed a bill to implement GPS speed limiters on all vehicles. So you cannot go over 10 miles an hour over the posted speed limit.
Well, Cam, you're not moving there.
Oh, trust me, if I had to be taken out of my vehicle.
You're a fast driver?
Yes.
Because.
That's what I do. I like cars.
But, I mean, so if the speed limit is 70, you're driving.
Full of traffic. 90. And if there is no
87.
traffic, I've set my pace.
87.
So what's the big deal with speed?
It's not about
It's the
going
car.
fast. I think it depends on the vehicle you're in. Like, obviously, if I'm like in something that is dangerous at a higher rate of speed, I'm much less likely to speed. But if you're in something that's safe and comfortable at a higher rate of speed, I think it's I don't know. I have a lot of different opinions about speed. I'm more concerned about this, though, is the fact that it'll be GPS controlled by someone else at any given moment.
It's no different than, I think, if you say something, if you say, okay, I like blue, then all of a sudden on your phone, buy blue, Amazon.com. I mean, it's just, what is that about?
That's what happens when you click accept to the terms and conditions and you don't read them.
And I'm saying this Big Brother thing, it's already in play.
I agree.
They're listening to your phone calls. They are.
Fake
Listen,
autonomy.
anytime you can just sit in your house and say, I don't want to call it, let's just say Camron, and the phone starts or music plays.
Do you have an Alexa?
No, the other one.
You have a
The
Google, now?
Oh, Siri?
Yeah, I don't want to say
Siri.
that.
Apple
My phone
Home.
will start doing something.
Hey Siri.
It's
Right.
actually
Hey Siri.
those things
She'll
are
pop up.
always listening. They are always recording and always listening, and they save your data, like just your normal conversations throughout your house. And it's looking. I went down a couple rabbit holes at 3 a.m. on stuff like that, and it's kind of scary. But we're in a world now where you can't avoid it unless you completely unplug and turn everything off and move away. You're pretty much stuck with it.
So when are you off the grid? When are you guys off the grid? You don't have on your watch. You don't have your phone on you. Your laptop is shut down. When are you off the grid?
I'm
When I'm
36,000
asleep.
feet in the air. It's really you're not. I think in today's world, like mostly work is done online, or entertainment is done online. Like, unless you literally are with no reception, and that's the only time I think I'd be is like if I'm camping or something, or if I'm like out on like a road trip and I'm in the middle of.
Are you
Colorado.
uncomfortable when you're off the grid?
No, it's refreshing.
Mm.
That's what I kind of miss that. I want to go on trips more, just kind of get away from stuff. But
What about you?
When I'm asleep.
But when you wake up, everything is on
Yep.
because
Just like everyone else.
Program.
It's just what
you wanna
happens.
be
I just
connected.
I don't want to be connected. I actually prefer no social media, no phone. I don't like texting. Even calling. Over texting, I'd rather call. But honestly, I would just rather talk to someone face to face and not have everything.
which is rare these
listening.
days.
Absolutely.
Not at this company.
Oh,
I
right.
believe in.
relationships.
100%.
Yeah, y'all laid right into that.
Oh,
one.
it was perfect. No,
goes.
I'm happy
Camera
with
on.
it. I'm happy with that. I prefer that. Majority of my friends work remote.
And I know you do. Something was going on with Samantha. I don't know. She was having some kind of medical something, and she said, "Oh, it's killing me. I need to get back to work. I need to." And that was refreshing to
I
me.
couldn't do it. They said you got to stay put for like 5 days. You can't do anything. And I said, what do you mean I can't do anything? I have to do something. Like if I sit there, I can read a book for a couple of hours. But after that, I'm like, okay, move around, talk to somebody. If I'm not talking to someone, I'm going crazy.
I just think,
need people.
especially, and you guys are not dealing with it yet, but the leather caps, as they get older,
You should put that on a shirt.
need to be more engaged. There are statistics that show, there are studies that show people who retire and just stay home.
They get lonely.
Zoop.
Yeah, a lot of people. That's what I've heard too. Especially when you get to retirement age and you've been working your entire life. You're so used to being in a routine, getting up, doing things, leaving, and then all of a sudden it just stops. That's like emotionally and physically like taxing on your body. A lot of people, like you said, die after they start retiring.
I enjoy sometimes a Saturday or a Sunday, and Sophia and I may be in this country place that we have, and I wake up and there's no real agenda that day,
That feels so nice.
but within an hour,
Something.
let's see it. Right.
You gotta make
something-
sure, yeah.
Right. So I don't know about being off the grid. I don't know if I'm ever really off the grid.
My big thing when I'm off the grid, I think, is road trips. I like to drive. I like to just
And drive fast.
Not always. Sometimes it's nice to drive slow.
Majority of the time.
So did you tell me you drove from Texas to San Francisco?
I've driven from Texas to San Francisco and back. I've driven Texas to Minnesota. I've driven Minnesota to LA.
The monotony doesn't bother you?
It doesn't. I think when you live in the plains, it does. And that's one thing I do not like about Texas is I feel like I can't go anywhere. Like, cause I like to just drive and like, for example, in California, I can go like drive through a canyon, stop, get some food somewhere by the ocean, whatever. Like it's beautiful to like see that kind of stuff.
Right.
Whereas in Texas, wherever you drive, it's just flat highway, baby.
Well, once you leave, especially if you're going west, if you leave
Good old West Texas.
Weatherford,
Only takes you 9 hours.
I remember as a kid, my father drove us to Colorado Springs.
Beautiful.
From East Texas.
I went to Pikes Peak a couple years ago.
It's great, except it took us longer to get from from East Texas to Amarillo than it did from Amarillo to Colorado Springs.
El Paso, Texas is closer to LA than it is to Houston.
No question.
It is.
I had to speak at New Mexico State, and it's in Las Cruces.
Mm-hmm.
They flew me into El Paso and picked me up in El Paso and then drove to Las Cruces.
Yeah.
Because it's like a 30-minute drive from El Paso, but you can't fly in. Texas is big.
It's huge, man. So when I did that drive to San Jose, or San Francisco, I drove from here to Phoenix in one sitting, and I stopped. Yeah. So and I drove. If you knew the car I had at the time, a small 2005 coupe. I did this in 2021.
Oh, that hurt.
And
how many hours is that?
15, I think. It's over 1,000 miles.
Not. I mean, I'm already numb thinking about it.
So the drive from Dallas to El Paso was 9.5 hours. That's not even considering all. Like if I went from Texarkana to El Paso, it'd be 10 plus.
Right.
And the drive from El Paso to Phoenix was like 5.5, 6 hours.
Yeah, it takes you a long time to get out of Texas.
It does. You just passing cotton field and oil rigs the whole way.
But you could stop in Lubbock.
I did.
Lubbock's
I seen
pretty fun.
I think my first tumbleweed.
That is true. Everyone is shocked when they see
your
tumbleweeds.
first tumbleweed was in Weatherford.
Yeah, no, it was
just as soon as you got outside of Fort Worth, that tumbleweed showed
past
up.
Abilene.
People think
Midland
those are like a figment of like cartoons.
I thought they were. I didn't think they were real.
They're real.
No, they're real.
They're real.
They're very real.
They're very real, and they
that's-
will
how did
mess
you
up your car.
Stay in Lubbock.
They will mess up your car too, which we all figured out while living in Lubbock.
How was it in Lubbock when you were
Lubbock
in
is
school?
great because it's a small, big town. So you get out there and there's nothing else to do
There's a
besides
Walmart.
be in. They have a little bit more. We got a Market Street. Like we have some good stuff.
Talk about the smell.
It doesn't smell the greatest when the wind blows a certain way, but it.
And they have those big dust storms that come in.
Haboos, yeah, they
It's-
come in. Yeah, they're not. It's difficult, but that's what makes it great. That's what makes Lubbock Lubbock. It gives you a different experience, something that you wouldn't have gotten
Mahomes
anywhere.
was there.
Patrick Mahomes was there.
That's exactly where he went to school. And it's everything is by chance because as he's coming up on another Super Bowl, somebody had to get hurt for him to play.
Mm-hmm.
I believe now.
That's how it was at Tech too. Someone got hurt, and that's how he got to start at Tech.
I think it was Alex Smith. I think was the starting quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs. I know you got an expert in here. I think he got hurt, and Patrick Mahomes came in and
Ain't been
never
the same
left.
since.
And
Never
that's
looked back.
exactly what happened at Tech. And I'm blanking on the quarterback at Tech at the time, but that's exactly what happened too. Same thing.
And we actually had a meeting. Samantha and I had a meeting with a relative of Patrick Mahomes, but his name is Mahomes.
That still
still
throws
don't
me.
I don't get it.
Throws me off. I don't understand, but
So I know, boss, you don't like flying necessarily in large bodies of water, but
No, I like flying.
those two things together, they are saying that someone thinks that they might have found Amelia Earhart's wreckage. Finally, they were under an excursion last year. They did some sonar stuff, and they were reviewing the data in December, and it looks like a plane for sure, possibly her plane. They need some more funding to go back down and find it again. But what do you? How long is?
Have no interest in any of that.
Oh, that was in the 40s.
yeah, I was gonna say 40s or 30s. Yeah.
That's when they really had leather caps playing football.
And flying planes.
Cam, didn't you tell me about someone else who
38.
flew around the world that we
Yeah,
know
that
is in business?
That was
Ross
Ross Perot.
Ross Perot.
He flew in a helicopter.
How interesting of a fact is that?
In a helicopter?
He flew in a
Oh,
helicopter.
I watched it.
I think he was the first. Google it.
the
but I
most
think he was the
dangerous.
first man to do that
in a helicopter.
in a helicopter.
Oh,
Yeah, helicopters.
helicopters.
They're the most dangerous aerial vehicle you can be in.
Well, there's not many to choose from.
First
I'm
round.
just saying.
What was
First
it?
round the world flight by helicopter.
Isn't that
What
crazy?
year was that?
Wow.
I told Cam that's a bored rich man.
82.
1982.
82 is when the
Wow.
helicopter.
How interesting.
Yeah, I watched a video of someone who had a helicopter and they flew from Buffalo, New York, all the way down the coast, across through Texas, all the way to California, up, like on like a few-week trip.
I just think though, once you guys do cruises, I don't.
I don't.
I've never been on
done
one,
it.
but I would do it.
Oh wow,
I've never done it.
I think you're the only one
You're
that's
the
actually
only
been on a
one.
cruise.
Yeah.
Hey, I
so
just
much
now
for
got
that.
adult money.
But I mean, if you want
We
to
don't
take
have
us
the
as a
money to do it.
company, if you want to take us as a company, we wouldn't be opposed to it. So just
I heard.
Takes on Jamaica.
I heard that conversation was being had last week.
oh, I was not a part of it, but I'm happy
I
to
didn't hear
join
about
that
that, but I'd love to
conversation.
join.
You just let me
Let's
know
do
when
it.
it's being had.
A lot has to happen for that to happen. But when you go out in that water
Nothing but you and God.
in the middle of the night,
Can I just fly there? I'm good. I
I'll
just
fly you
really
there.
don't. I don't have any. I'm good. I want a bigger plane. I want a bigger plane.
I want the experience of the cruise ship, though.
I don't.
The dancing nights.
You seen the
food,
new the
Dancing
Symphony of the, or the
the-
Icon of the Seas
the
just
parties,
launched
They have
is
like
that the
parties
one down
That's
in
a
Miami?
huge
It's the,
one.
It's the biggest one that
ever.
ever made. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's. I think it launched several
like
days
a
ago.
week or two ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they were doing another one, and the other one's already sold out for like 6-7 months. I don't even know. I saw that though.
What's
It's
the
interesting.
longest flight you guys have had?
Amsterdam.
How long is that?
8.5, 9 hours, I think.
Maybe 4. Only place I've ever been outside of the United States is Mexico. So really.
And you live in Texas.
Yep, and I mean I've gone to New York. That's probably New York, or New York's probably the
Or my
furthest.
flight to Hawaii last year.
long.
That was pretty long, about the same time.
Hawaii is about 8 hours.
Yeah.
I flew into Tokyo. It was 13 hours nonstop.
Did you have first class ticket?
Well, yeah.
I've never flown first class.
Me either.
I have never flown.
I'm at an age. I'm at an age,
The leather caps, right? The leather caps.
especially on a flight like that.
Yeah,
I
no,
just,
that makes it a lot better. I mean,
Yeah.
what kind did you have? Would you a lay down bed and like a cubby, or did you
Yeah.
have like a room? Because I know some of those flights now they have like entire rooms, but that's like a $20,000 ticket though. Those are really expensive.
no comment. But
man.
the flight. I think the most interesting flight for me is from London to Cape Town, South Africa.
Mhm.
I don't think people know how close London is to Africa.
Oh yeah.
It's just a hop and a skip over the pond.
Mediterranean is a
It's
Europe
just-
and Africa,
It's
right?
just right there. But then you fly for 12 hours over land. Not water, land. That's how big the continent of Africa is.
I want to go to
Wow.
Africa so bad.
It's a trip that everybody should make. And there's a train from Northern Africa to South Africa. It takes 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's a lot of.
It's humongous to take the train.
Oh, my goodness.
It's humongous. I don't think people understand. But there's a place in Africa called Victoria Falls. Before you,
By Lake Victoria, or is it
Sherilyn
run
wants
off of
to
Lake
go there.
Victoria?
Sherilyn's been
You
talking to
gotta
us
go.
about.
it is
yeah.
the most beautiful. It's like you see rainbows on the ground.
Wow.
I mean, they're right there, and you think you can touch them, but obviously you can't. But it's 16 of them.
Wow.
It's beautiful, but it's the end. It's this lake. No, it's this river that's creating these rainbows. But I wonder who discovered it. Whoever discovered that river, discovered Victoria Falls, died a brutal death. Because it's a huge drop off. There's no way they
Oh
made
my
it. And you don't
gosh.
see it coming. You don't see it coming.
I didn't see this conversation coming.
You know, you just kind of blase, blah. Whoa! And
Oh
you
my
can't stop. And you can't stop. No, that's exactly
Okay.
what happened. Victoria Falls, make sure you go.
Wow.
To that, not on the river. You're not gonna make it on the river.
I'm not sure how much time. How long have we been talking today? John, do you have a time on us? 20?
Well, is it time for? Oh, Luis Delgado's our guest today. Oh, my man.
Oh,
Listen,
wait. Before we get to that, you're looking at the CEO of the year right here. He just won an award 4 days ago.
Of which Luis Delgado was the chairman.
Yep.
of the board of the Regional Hispanic Contractors Association, and he's next.
Luis, you and I met on the 2000 something DISD bond package. I don't know what year that was.
2009.
Wow.
2009, and that's how I came to Dallas, because of that opportunity.
So you've been in Dallas for almost 15 years.
Yes.
So this Dallas thing is not new to you.
No, it's not. It's not. And when I got that opportunity back in 2009, the moment that I heard about it, I jumped on it.
Why Dallas? What was it about Dallas that got you here 15 years ago?
I saw a great opportunity. I mean, this is a city. Yeah, the DFW area is known for being very entrepreneurial. It's known for providing opportunities for people. We see it now every single day. People are coming, right? People are coming from other parts of the country to Texas. People are coming to the DFW market, the DFW area. And I saw it at the time. I said, I want to be part of that. I felt that this was a place where I was going to be able to grow and develop myself, my career. Great place for my family to be around as well, and provide them with the enough education and academic opportunities for my kids, where they were still pretty young, for them to eventually grow and develop. So I saw a lot of tremendous benefits from coming to Dallas. And to be able to come and work at the Dallas ISD program where you and I work together,
Right.
that was like fully merchant into the city of Dallas, right?
Yeah,
you
it
get
was.
to come
Yeah.
as an outsider,
Right.
and get to see everything that the city has to offer, the good and the bad. And being able to work in all the communities around the DISD program, being able to be there for and building schools for in disadvantaged communities. And I never forget that first day when you do an elementary school, specifically elementary schools, you go there for the opening of that new school,
Wow.
or that major addition, and seeing the faces of those kids, to me, it's something that I always cherish, that I always love about my work, the work that we do, because of that. You're providing them with hope. You're providing them with opportunity. And I think you continue to fuel their dreams, right? To continue to do more. So just seeing the faces, the smiles, and getting them excited to go back to school, and even seeing the parents getting excited for their kids.
So when I think about those kids, they're either in college or in the workforce now.
They are.
Think about that.
They are.
As long
You're
as
right.
that's an elementary school that was in 2009, 2010, 11, 12, and here we are in 2023.
You're right.
So let's talk about that journey. The companies that you work for, they have been program managers.
Yes.
You hear that kind of terminology. What is a program manager? For just the average person listening, when they hear program manager, well, they don't know what that is. Explain that. What is a program manager?
To me, the way that I see a program manager is almost like an orchestra director.
Mm.
You have so many different things that make up an orchestra, and you need to be in a situation where you're able to tell the different sets of instruments when they come in, when they come out.
I'm visualizing this as you go.
Work as a team. Otherwise, the music doesn't flow, right? You sit there, you listen, and the last person that you're thinking of, it's a lot of times that orchestra director. You're seeing everybody here playing. You look around the symphony and you look at everything that's going on. That orchestra director becomes an element that you really don't see, but it's the reason why everybody knows their cue as to when they come in, when they come off, and they do their music. And that makes very powerful music. So when you have a program manager, it's the same situation. You have that individual that is there to represent the owner of that project or that program. That owner has a multitude of different projects that they need to execute to be able to be successful. So when you talk about a DISD, they have $3.6 billion right now. They have hundreds of projects within the schools that they have within the district. So you need people that actually help you coordinate all those efforts and get all those people engaged and involved in executing the projects.
Okay, so for this week on Can You Relate, we've kind of already been talking about travel, but let's get into it a little bit more. Where is your favorite place you've been? I mean, it's the start of the year. And I would love to take a trip. I probably can't make it to Africa. So let's, I don't think I have the PTO for that one. So let's start with that. But
It's a 17-hour flight. You can make it. It's not like
But
you
how
got to get
long-
in a boat.
but then I got to be there for,
At least a week.
I got to make it last. Like I got to be there.
That's 2 days for travel right there.
And I don't have a week of PTO because I'm already down to like 3 days with all these weddings.
A wedding
So
ringer.
I think
more local.
you do need to be in Africa for, a week at least.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I recall being you got to go to Kruger National Park. Now, don't get that confused with Clyde Warren Park. Because Kruger National Park is the
think,
bush. It's
Yeah, no, it's the.
it's
the
where
horror.
they are. And they're not in a cage. They're not, it's not a zoo.
That doesn't scare me for some reason.
It will.
don't know.
It will. I promise you it will. So,
I don't, yeah, you know.
Okay, well, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it to Africa on my less than 5 days PTO left for the entire year. So if I'm thinking more local and not a 17-hour flight, where's your favorite place you've gone in the United States or Mexico or Canada? I mean,
I went to Toronto last year. I like that city a lot more than I thought I would. I want to go back in the summer, but I wouldn't say it's my favorite place. I actually almost asked this question to you guys earlier, so I should have had an answer by now. I think as far as a state is concerned, the two most beautiful states, hands down, are either Colorado or California. Depending on what you like, I think California is probably the only state you can go to the beach, you can be in the city, you can be in the mountains, and you can go skiing in the same state in like the same day. And Lauren says Virginia too.
I was thinking there has to be something on the East Coast, so I'm glad you said
Virginia ain't got mountains like Cali. They're called hills.
I'll fight you later.
I'm just kidding.
that. You want the mic, Lauren? You can have it. Come on over. Come on over.
What about you, Sam? What is your favorite place?
Well, my favorite place, you said Colorado. My favorite city I've ever been to is Telluride. By far one of the most beautiful cities I've ever been to. I love to ski, so that for me is a given. And going there, staying in Mountain Village, taking a gondola into town, it's beautiful. It's so much fun. It's hard to get to, which is a good thing because that means there's not a lot of people there. The mountain's pretty open.
yeah.
You got a lot of good skiing, a lot of good snow. I love it. And the town's just well taken care of. The residents of Telluride love the town so much that they just take such good care of it, and they're very protective of the town. So it's fun. It's a different experience than all other ski towns in Colorado.
I think
I like Winter Park and Steamboat Springs.
Steamboat. Yeah,
Both of those places. are
Steamboat
good.
has some of the best snow.
my
Yeah.
business
Small
teacher-
airport though. Plane's bigger than airport.
My business teacher in high school, her family owned one of the resorts in Steamboat Springs. I never been there. I never been skiing. I want to go skiing so bad. I want to do a ski trip this year.
The best.
But I did do a 5,000 mile
Best
road
hobby.
trip through Colorado and Utah. Went everywhere from Moab, Salt Lake City, Park City, Zion National Park, Grand Junction. Like I went everywhere. We went to Durango, Pikes Peak, and Colorado
you just
Springs.
drove through it though? Like, did
Oh, no,
you
we
get out to
stayed.
hike?
No, we
Okay.
stayed, and we went all the way up Pikes Peak.
Okay.
But yeah, Colorado's gorgeous. I don't know. What's your favorite place?
I don't know. Montreal, Vancouver, Paris, Cape Town.
I want to go to Cape Town.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard.
They're all good.
I got to
They're
write
all
down the list of places I can make it in 3 days.
I want to go to Monaco.
There and back.
Try Glatewater, Texas. We'll talk about that on our next podcast.